Hello everyone, welcome to the 21st Battle of the Promethean Directive. My name is Miser Luke, and this is the second battle of Zvezda Island, where the Remnant Federation's Valiant's 1st Assault Corps, under Admiral Walker, consisting of 2 Resurgence and 2 Revengeance-class thrustercraft, visible right here, have gone after 3 Triumvirate cities, including Port Postal, the Foundation, and Dalmatia Air Force Base, which are clustered across Zvezda Island, and they are joined in defense by the Triumvirate Land Defense Force and the Triumvirate Postal Defense Force, which are visible that way. These thruster craft were very quickly built and thrown together by the Remnant Federation, who put them on the spreadsheet before they existed, and had to get them built in like 2 days. There's 2 of each. This one was built with the help of the Divini Arcana Ordinum, if you can't tell, by some branding, and they are exceptionally well decorated. You see they had to put the sails on here to make sure to get to the battle in time. And this will be glorious, I am sure. While on this side, we've got a task force provided by the LTS, Light of the Sanctified, for the defense of the Triumvirate lands, consisting of a Kaiser, a Rogue Master, and 4 of these little raptors. Then the main defense line consists of 6 turrets from the LTS, several ammo supply buildings, 2 of these laser defenses, 4 big, I assume they're sand blasters, but they're APS. These are protected by civilian habitation modules that double as walls, which is definitely some sort of war crime. And then there's 3 tanks over on this side. Without further ado, I'm going to unpause it and see what chaos will follow. Oh, yep, I am not streaming. Ha ha ha. Good thing. You just missed the intro. Okay, now things are rolling. Good catch on all the pings. You know, it's only the second time this has happened. It's not too bad. But my main goal is to avoid losing any videos, because that means I can't upload it for posterity. But not streaming for a few minutes is not a huge deal. See, here's the defenses. The Triumvirate would like to issue an order for their tanks to stop advancing, i.e. me turning their AI off. But that will not happen immediately, because that order was kind of issued late. After this battle was being run the first time, it got redone because of terrain shenanigans, so that order will get issued just with a delay based on a combination of dice rolls, lore, and other stuff. And my personal desire not to see these guys backpedaling for another 6 kilometers, then having to go back in again. I'm going to say this is probably enough, so those things are going to get turned off now. As expected, this Rogue Master is getting obliterated by the lasers. It's only meant to be a cargo transport craft anyways, but it was spawned in here partially to be a decoy force, to hopefully give the defenses some time to get involved and do some damage. And they have all perished. Love the cinematic twirl and fall to the ground, though. This guy appears to have found and befriended the terrain, but I don't think the damage... I was about to say I don't think the damage is too serious, but it did just lose the bottom laser there. And part of the defense shield as well. It's still got some laser firing pieces, so it's not too bad. But that's definitely going to be suboptimal for this thing's defensive plans. Lovely terrain not being present. Okay, good. These guys have a few different laser colors. I'm honestly disappointed that they're not all orange. Like, come on, it's in your faction theming, right? Whereas the one designed by the Arcana is white, which is a little bit more jarring than the red that the rest of them use. These things are actually cram mortars, which is really interesting and unique for a front sider, but it makes sense against front siders. Oh, okay, stream didn't work. Sorry about that. I thought I did. Okay. There we go. I clicked it, but I didn't finalize it. Sorry about that. Stream is now back up. And by back up, I mean just up in general. You see, I'm just actually the reason why I didn't do the stream was to make sure that y'all actually watch the video so I can get more of the ad revenue that I don't actually get from YouTube. This is just sad. Oh, that's fine. I'm sure that guy's pilot was alright. Yeah, this guy's driver as well. Totally fine. Totally fine. And with that, I think only the Kaiser tank is left, which is a little bit more substantial, but probably still going to be obliterated shortly. Although, more resilient than I expected. I thought lasers would do more damage, but I guess they did get the raw DPS nerf. Looking at everything, the tanks from RTI are fully intact. The Kaiser's fairly damaged. One shield is now at 10%. I think that got smashed into the ground. These are the things that go in front of the Resurgences, I think? Revengeances? I don't know which. Kaiser, this guy we're on, is at 90%. The defense buildings... Oh yeah, one of the Revengeances is down to 84, which I think is the one getting land collided. I don't know why he dipped into the terrain. Like, it's a very subtle elevation change here, but it has nonetheless had issues. And this one, at least, is not my fault, because this terrain should be manageable. I mean, yeah, I can, if needed, restart the battle again, but I'd prefer not to. And this one is less obviously my fault for poor terrain, because this is pretty manageable terrain. Probably doesn't even get more than 100 meters tall. You think just a lucky hit? Okay, that makes me feel better. Although it was scraping on the ground earlier, so I don't know if that was like it sustained damage from just a very short scrape that totaled it later, or if other stuff happened, because you've got... Well, now that it's exposed its underbelly, it's going to take a lot of damage. But it could also have been a hit that got in somewhere. This here probably wasn't terrain damage, because I don't think it could have propagated down like that, but I'm not certain. So yeah, this could have been damage getting in here legitimately. So, probably it was actually the laser getting in there or something, I don't know. The Kaiser is still stubbornly moving forward despite the laser damage it is sustaining. Man's just vibing. And, okay, it looks like the white laser is either very restricted firing arcs or a burst laser. Or charge laser, whatever you call them. It would seem that the craft action made by the Remnant Federation is performing better here. Oh, cram? Nope, disappointing. But this will at least give an advantage to the defenders. We'll see how long it takes them to actually get into combat. Like, this tank is remarkably resilient for what's going on here. I'm also surprised it hasn't gotten smited by crams. Could be the terrain that's actually reducing the accuracy of those cram mortars or howitzers, because it's no longer a perfectly straight line that it's tracking, which would be a very easy target solution. But, yep, that's how we're going so far. Let's see. So yeah, one shield's still 14%. I assume it'll get eventually... Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, in 10 seconds it'll get beyond repairs. I did allow the vehicles with the shields to have 2 repair tentacles. That's kind of all that I would want for any shield, because any more it just gets ridiculous and you're never going to get through it. But 2 actually give you a reason to do it. And also, for the record, shields shouldn't add extra heavy armor that the craft could not have itself. So you can't, like, have a... If your heavy armor limit is 1 meter, you can't put, like, 10 different shield sub-objects with an extra meter of armor on them, if it's heavy armor. All the metal or alloy you want, go for it, stone even, but you shouldn't do that for getting extra heavy. I've got to say, very disappointed in, like, the detection and or DPS of these lasers. I would have thought for sure small things would get nuked. Maybe I've... Oh! And that's what crams are for, I guess. That looks to have been pretty decisive. I think this guy is out of the count. 40% health, yep. Whether he's got an AI or not, he is toasted. Now this guy here is at least going to be able to distract some and keep using its lasers. Although, based on that laser, it may not have any ability to actually know where the enemy is at, because I highly doubt there's that many aircraft on this side. Hang on, is it actually all fins? Oh no, I can't get to it anymore. The Triumvirate were joking that their cannon shells were just all fins. And I wanted to see if they were telling the truth. I doubt it, but it would be hilarious. If they're actually firing experimental all fins, no cap, no payload. Alright, now let's get over the strategic map. Now I'm expecting these thruster craft to come back in range. Actually, I don't need to. I can just tab. So you can see that the detection is quite inaccurate at this distance, which is... I guess I didn't know that much about detection, that it would be this inaccurate. But the defenses, some of them are deploying smoke, as they should. I'd like to imagine that they're just like people who lived here, ignored the evacuation order, and then just went up to the roof and like, you know what, we're going to start machine gunning. Don't know where they are, but they're that way, and we are going to make them darn unhappy that they chose to attack our land like this. This is what real Americans do, celebrating the 4th of July. Distance at this point, good question, is up to 7,000? Goodness, yeah, I think they're all about 7,000. Uh, 5,000 is the closest, the rest are at 7. So yeah, the damaged one is about 5. These 3 are all at between 5 and 7. All the machine gunners aren't even making it, so sad. Honestly, I may turn those off for the sake of just improving my frame rate a little bit. Because they are not going to get there. Ramparts. I'm sorry to do your machine gunners like this, but they are not hitting that thing out at 3 kilometers. Okay, finally a little bit of silence. Let's check these guys out. I don't think they've got very good accuracy either, based on how much these barrels are jumping around. Closest target, so the furthest one's down to about 6 kilometers. Closest is sitting solid about 3.4. Probably getting to minimum range on these tanks here. Of which one of them is taking some very serious damage. I'm guessing a cram hit here, because I wouldn't imagine a laser doing quite this much while the front armor's still intact, unless it could have gotten in here. I'll hang out with these guys for a little while, because that's where most of the damage is going to be going. Yeah, could be fuel boxes, could be laser damage. I still think the don't move order was good, because it keeps them closer, otherwise they're going to get taken out alone whereas here they at least have the defenses at 3 kilometers for longer. And they are somehow rolling backward. I don't know if it's like bouncing damage from crams, or if they're on a slight downhill. Or it could be recoil from their own guns, I guess, but those don't fire very often. Danger, high voltage. Dr. Pepper. These are the decorations we need. And yeah, everything's flying the Light of the Sanctified livery for now, because that's the side that I spawned them all on. Yeah, I mean, this battle's gonna take a while no matter how we do it. Looks like target prio has swapped from the tanks, though. Even if the accuracy is poor. Is detection really this bad? Like at range, is it because there's like smoke and stuff involved, or other issues that are preventing them from being accurate? Like, I doubt they've been detection stripped at this point. They're all... looks like... the myriads are also out of range. I mean, yeah, only one of them's taken... They've taken pretty negligible damage, except for the far one. So I wouldn't expect them to be... Well, they obviously couldn't be detection stripped. So either it's just this bad out at 3 kilometers, or there's some issue with the setup. I guess it could be ECM. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how good the defenses are against crams. I know they've probably been configured for it, at least somewhat. Whether that's these Sea-Wiz, the lasers, or the sandblasters. I don't know which of them are meant to be doing that. I don't know if the sandblasters aren't firing for some reason, like if it's a failsafe issue, or if they have really long reload, or if they have restrictive firing settings. I don't know. You think it's failsafe? Got it. That means it's not going to do anything while the wall's there then, which would seem to be a very unsuccessful move if the wall is blocking the firing due to the like built-in like 5-meter margin that it gives you or whatever. I had that issue sometimes with the carriers, like they wouldn't fire while there were planes on the deck even when they're pretty clear. Well, this is fun. This is what metagaming does to a man. You sit here waiting while the battle happens 3 kilometers away. You got no DPS and nothing's hitting. Bring back the brawls. Don't make me limit range to like 2 kilometers now. Is Chad View washed? Yes or yes? This is true. Slowboy, your craft does seem to be doing the best. Like, they've got better accuracy generally than the white laser craft. Although this ammo dump has finally managed to get taken out, but that's kind of a low-hanging fruit given the size of the other defenses here. Okay. Now here's a question for everyone. If both sides agree, we can do it. Do I scrap the walls so the sandblasters can fire, but in return I'll also heal the downed thruster craft so it can get back in the air? Although, I don't know if it'll be able to from its angle. I guess I could destroy it and respawn it. If the two sides agree to me allowing half the defenses to actually fire in return for bringing back one vehicle that died to terrain. So the vehicle dies to train again. I would hope it wouldn't. I can also check this view to see if there are any shells flying. I'm not seeing any right now that are coming from the thruster craft. But I can leave it this way so you can watch yourself. I would not repair the shield. Actually, if I respawn it, then... if I respawn it, then it would get the shield back, yeah. If I'm able to repair it and it gets back in the air, it wouldn't. Yeah, respawn would probably be the way, you're right. Unless you think your defenses can win Triumvirate. I mean, right now, with 3 airships at their full fighting power, you have suffered 10% and 26% damage to your valueless ammo dumps, and 0% to 3 other structures, and you've lost your tanks, but that took a while. I can head over to one of the vehicles here. And they have not lost 250. They would if they lose the battle and it gets destroyed. But if this ends up being a draw, because I'm not going to sit here for 2 hours watching these things slowly kill each other, then it would only be like the 25% damage it took, which is only like 60k. Mortars are firing, I can confirm. Actually, can I chase that? I have no idea if I can find it ever again. Yep, that mortar sure do be firing. I'm guessing it's getting intercepted. Because I know these guys at least have some capability for that. Well, to be fair, the only progress you made was them crashing their own vehicle. So, again, up to you. I mean, eventually, they might shift enough that your cannons stop having that firing angle problem. If they're constantly baiting to the right a little bit. So you may get your sandblasters uncovered. Oh, yep, these 2 already are. So there you go. Actually, yep, all 4 sandblasters are now engaged. Well, intermittently anyways. Those 2 always are, these 2 occasionally are. I do not believe the defender tested their wall concept, given the issue that they're having. Like, they may have spawned in to check the height, which I know they did. But I don't think they tested firing, at least not at a target like this. So, the state of the battle is, there is 1 damaged ammo dump, all but 1 of the tanks have been killed, and everything else on the fence side is good. So yeah, the actual army squadrons got totally destroyed, but the actual defenses are totally in good health. Now, there are crams falling. We just saw a couple. Ooh. Just cut the barrel of the sandblaster short. But both the accuracy and damage of the crams are a little bit lackluster. Based on this, I think they're frag. How they're punching a few minor holes. And, I mean, the lasers are doing aesthetic damage. For the record, this is only meant to be 1 barrel. These things are still full health. You gonna get crammed? Kind of. Okay, let's give it a health check via the map. 99, 97 with the shield at 97 as well, and 100. And the ammo dump finally got destroyed. And this guy is still vibing at 73. Can I find my way out to one of these with shift caps lock? I can. Follow the cram. Here we go. We'll see if this thing lands. It will not. Do I need to give y'all 100% auto detect? This is just sad. That's interceptor. Here's probably a sand blaster shell. The fact that the shield is aiming at the wrong craft really isn't helping here. And those wedges are actually taking some damage. And yep, the crams are firing, but they're not doing much. Let's get out of this mode, see if there's anything interesting. Not really. Sadly, the sails have been damaged. Honestly, at that point, you may as well give up. If you can't even sail back home. I can try to follow the next mortar shell, yes. I will do my best. Did that just fire and I missed it? Probably. I will follow the next mortar shell. Eventually. In several years. Although if these are like Doom Cram style, they relive maybe quite a while. And they're aiming at the tank now, it looks like. Yep. If anyone is interested in editing videos, this one could probably use some editing to get it down to a watchable length. Let's follow this entire salvo, which appear to be going almost nowhere. Like they appear to be perfectly bisecting the two fleets. But who am I to judge the will of, I assume 2,000mm artillery, but it might be a funny 1,000 or something. Okay. I thought they just paused and started going back down. That's just frame rate. Would have been funny though. Yeah, degraded mode definitely making this run slow. I assume we're at like 25% game speed or something. These, I assume, are aimed for the tank, but they really aren't pointing the right direction for that. And I know they have some seeking, but I don't know if it'll be enough. And it's hard to tell if they're seeking actually for the tank or for the other structures. You can see, though, that all 4 sandblasters are firing. So the defenders are definitely putting out more DPS. Yeah, sorry to break it to you, Chief, but these are going nowhere. These are actually going where there is no defense nor tank. And I do not know why. I can try it at increasing game speed. What is that? F4 and then just spam the plus key. Maybe that'll work. I know it doesn't update very well either. But that might do better. Okay, finally some real damage. One laser turret has been amputated. These two things don't even appear to be firing. I don't know if they're like out of ammo if they use belt feds or something. This guy is aesthetic damage only. Is this? Why is this wood? I just now realized they're made of wood. Or at least the side ones are. Okay, the side ones are made of wood, only the front one is actually functional, which is heavy armor and metal. This is this is like straight out of like the current Russo-Ukrainian war. Like the Russians just built up a wooden wall, or put wooden armor on the side of the tanks because they didn't think they'd get shot there. In before they got shot there. Yep, these guys still doing fairly well. I think these guys are set for Sea Whiz because they do occasionally whack out if they're trying to go for a cramshell. Going to check the health once more. We've got 98%, 94 on the main, 84 on the shield. And this guy at full. This guy is still at 73. Taking a shell out here. So this is the one that's taken a couple percent of damage. Nothing much is missing. This guy has had more serious damage, which appears to be some of it straight through the wedge plate, but nothing too far. They have actually gotten to the back of the wedges, so there's a chance for more damage here. But I don't think they've actually damaged the internals yet. Whereas other damage, I think a turret, yeah, laser turret got taken out there. This one I think it's just masked, or nope, it got taken out too. And the bottom one does not know what it's doing. I guess the angle of the ship has blocked it, so it's not firing. So this guy is, at this point, a cram-only craft. It has no lasers working. This guy, still all the lasers working from what I can tell. Or all but one, actually. But that's still enough to probably get out all the damage it can. I think that tank did finally get destroyed. So now everything's finally after the buildings. Yeah. Now we'll see if anything actually happens. Or if the crams are going to miss and or pick poor targets. Looks like this one's after the wall. So I guess their strategy did work. And this one just went straight on through here. Oh, this one's actually been cut in half too. I don't know when the game will realize that. Right now it seems. Okay. Oh my goodness, the single blocks, really? Why is the back all single blocks? Oh, that whole thing's scrapping, I guess. I guess it lost its AI. Okay, well, one rampart is down, which leaves this sandblaster more exposed, admittedly. But, I mean, I'm guessing, yeah, this thing's got so much armor they're not even through a tiny fraction of it. The smoke's going to be pretty effective. Only real damage I'll take is the burning of the wooden sides. Oh, yep, they are trying to be Sea Whiz. I think that barrel just detonated that one. Which is the second time at least this battle that a cram shell has gone off on a sandblaster barrel. Okay. Still going strong for the defenders. I'd say they're probably favored to win this. I guess I don't know what the late stages battle will look like. From what I can tell, it's slowly these guys taking damage, while the defenses are mostly unaffected. Like that sandblaster's at 5%. All the other ones are at 100. All the other damage is mostly to things that weren't doing much anyways. I think the laser grid is the only thing that's been lost that's of worth on the defender side. Maybe the walls if you want to consider one of them, but those are cheap and not too effective. Oh, they are through the aesthetic metal covering, but they've still got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 2 beams and 2 slopes of armor, of all heavy armor. And if it took them this long to get through metal, then that will take them probably an hour, which I hope we are not here for. Let's follow this cram. which is going to miss. Oh, something detonated there. Is that... still got its AI, I guess. Now I've got to ask the question, is the meta still worth it if it looks like this? Is this meta? This makes me really curious if my, like, optimized but non-meta airships could win this battle if it's taking this long. Like, surely a Monarch could do better than these guys, right? Well, I know Mortar isn't meta, yes, but it can be against structures, which is what you're here for. This was your best strat on short notice. Didn't you announce your build design idea before you went on this attack? Even if the vehicle itself was a rush development. I think the idea was earlier than that. Looks like another laser turret's out. Although that may have been out before, I don't know. Let's see, where is the sand going? Still mostly targeting this Revengeance. Hey, we've got tracers. I am amazed that we are not currently in degraded mode. Let's see if I can spam plus and get a little bit faster game speed. And the... oh, shield has repaired. It used to be down to 84, but it's back at full health. This guy's taking some damage too. Although I think that's... yeah, that's from the puny little myriad. I don't think those will actually do any damage. If they hit at all. Any fun stuff to talk about while we just watch this happen? Oh, mat storage. That's an interesting question. I hate that this is where we're at. Yours have 200k, or at least one of them does. The sand blasters still have 90,000 left. I don't know how much they started with. Myriads are at full. Laser defense grid's low, but it doesn't need any because it's got no weapon anyways. However long 90,000 materials will last us. Probably less than half an hour. I don't know exactly how quickly they burn through it. Yes, I do think I should move to the other channel, otherwise... well, yeah, it'll be sitting here with no commentary. So I'll move over now.
Oh, wow, at the same time. So I'm just saying, like, I am not just
so fucking boring. Who wants to play Mahjong?
Is this commentary going to be included in the video?
Yes, y'all are live, not live, on YouTube now.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Say a bad word.
No racial slurs, please.
Damn it!
Okay, I'll host
You're
no
no
game
fun.
words.
No cursing either. This is a Christian YouTube channel.
Can
I'm sorry.
we use,
Hazel.
hold on. Can we use our own
Fudge.
respective racial slurs?
if they fit in character for the world of the Promethean Directive, and they are not
Anyone come up with
too
slurs for
matching
this?
of real
I
ones.
have not written that bit of lore.
I don't think there's any
I'm-
rattlesnakes in this battle,
I'm
so
saying-
I don't have anything.
There are nations, like Triumvirate, like, they totally have had connections to the BCI.
Actually.
Their deep past. Sorry, not the BCI, the CIA.
The fucking
I'm
wall
just
there,
saying. I'm just saying. Cracker, right?
Who the hell is dragging this guy?
Okay, I thought that was the real slur.
How the fuck are you missing structures?
With lasers too.
Because detection is shit against this tiny thing.
These
Yeah,
aren't
but
tiny.
Moving them. You can
These
set
are-
the averaging
It's not
time
that
to, like,
hard.
5 seconds.
These are 5,000 volume.
Okay, but like this is actually what small vehicle spam does. We bought 4 vehicles. You guys brought like what, 30 something?
Bro,
This is why build for craft should
I'm
be
just
cheaper
saying,
and
this
build
wouldn't
capacity
be,
to discourage
targeting those
small
little, I don't
craft
even know what they
spam.
are, like ammo
Yeah,
drones?
honestly.
Man, I wanted to be running the turn right now, not just sitting through a 3-hour battle.
If
Or
the
just, like,
combat range was 2,000, this wouldn't be happening. The thing.
If you just
I
built
agree.
bigger crafts, this would be more interesting.
Fucking wood, Chad. What are you talking about?
Y'all are making me really consider 2 kilometers now, because this is just terrible.
No. They built
I
small
told you to
crafts.
do it.
Yes, do 2 kilometers because snipers are extraordinarily meta. I know because I'm making them right now.
In TOTS, 2 kilometers was almost too long.
No, okay. The reason you use
We're missing
snipers
one
isn't-
person on the Mahjong game.
Jesus Christ. I'd like to echo what Slowboy said. I think build per craft should like start like either have non-linear scaling.
Non-linear would be good. I probably should have done that, but I didn't think about it at the time.
Maybe also non-linear, but like have it start at like 150k. You just get 150k for free for like 200 or 100 or something. Because
I'll just straight up disallow tiny craft.
yeah, honestly.
Fucking sky cancer.
Why would you disallow tiny craft?
I mean, yeah, if you disallow tiny craft, you get rid of, like, realistic planes and
collision checks.
semi-realistic
Okay,
tanks.
They would get rid of
If you
realistic
limit
planes.
them.
They would also get rid of battles like this
Yeah.
that just
this
are
would also be solved by
3
just
straight
Ooh.
hours of
Look at that.
not
Solid.
I don't think that small craft are the issue here. I think it's craft at
Small
3
craft are
kilometers that
very
can
much
hardly
the
hit
issue.
anything.
It's
no,
mostly
the
detection is
range.
issue,
Small
and
craft is the
detection
issue.
Small
is-
craft aren't the
It's
issue.
5-kilometer
Okay,
volume.
can
How
I
is it
explain-
small?
It's
Can I
small.
explain?
Or 5k.
They really aren't that small.
Yeah.
These aren't even that small.
They are
Dude,
covered in
this is
chat
just-
and smoke.
Yeah, they're over
They
5.
just add
Stability
detection
plus cram
They
and
have smoke
accuracy.
because they're getting
They're
shot by
at full
lasers.
stability. Luke can go check right now if he wants. Just teleport
they-
on board.
0.05
Okay,
inaccuracy
you're
anyway.
shooting lasers at them. Of course.
Yeah,
they're
lasers
smoking.
at 3 kilometers with like any amount of stability makes it take so long to kill.
But like, it's
And then
not
add
even-
in that the craft is small too. It's in most of
The
the shots.
idea
miss.
was that the crams would do this. The lasers are supposed to be for stopping,
Yeah.
incoming aircraft.
I mean, you've landed one cram that actually did real damage, and it took out one sandblaster. All the rest have done essentially
well, I mean, we
nothing.
killed all of the walls.
True. All but one so far.
And
And the
whatever
lasers,
the
the
fuck other
lasers keep focusing on those little tiny buildings beside the turret. I don't know what they're supposed to be.
Ammo
See,
supplies.
that's-
Well, that's the point of the lasers, kind of.
Those are just material storage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
well, now
know.
we're just eating your materials.
The lasers, I think, have a target prio setting that prefers very small targets strongly, so hopefully now that I think all of
Hang
them
on.
are gone, they'll aim at...
How have these guys
Someone is
gained
actually-
materials? I guess
I
only
think
this
a
one
better
was low.
solution is to just like, Salvage. make it... So you know how in the spreadsheet every vehicle has max stores based on the cost and the
Yeah.
craft type? I think you should probably just enforce the max storage on vehicles in game.
That would probably be good.
Cancer.
I-
actually-
You
I'm
should
giving-
raise the storage a lot.
I mean, that does
Like,
counter, like,
that just-
ultra-dense energy, which otherwise
Wait,
there's no
alright,
reason
so,
not
hold
to.
on, the way I
That's
see it
just a
right,
Huge nerf to energy weapons.
the RTI vehicles...
No, anyway.
No.
The RTI
The-
vehicles that burn
fighting
through
would ha-
30,000 materials, if they were not... If, resource rules were enforced, they would have been out of mats by now. The Orlandos have way above what they're supposed to have. They would have been out of mats. The Revengeance classes have burned through, what is that, like 40k, 30k materials? They would have been out of mats by now.
No, they would actually not be out of mats yet.
Consider this one, Chad. Injector sticks do more DPS, so they can finish battles quicker.
Exactly.
Mm.
And this is working right now.
Actually, I'll counter that by saying that your max power is limited by the technology and resources. So outlawing, or basically requiring less fuel consuming engines just means you need to have bigger engines, which means less armor, which means quicker fights and more frequent engine disables,
use denser
ending fights.
engines and have smaller crafts and have more crafts, and yeah, this seems good.
Half the
Yeah,
boss
that's
hacks
another like
and
incentive issue.
energy weapons somehow.
I do think that build per craft needs looked at because that really incentivizes the small stuff, especially with it being the most expensive of the
Yeah.
build capacities.
100%.
The most expensive ones are like what, 80K? And they're like by far the largest thing on
They
the
were. The tanks are 100k roughly.
Okay.
OPSEC.
Pretty sure the most expensive
I would
craft ever
rather-
dropped is like 250k.
I would rather play Vault of Glass with Helen Keller sit through this battle, Trojan.
Okay, we are 46 minutes in, and the first sandblaster has finally been destroyed. That is the world we're in.
It's very slow, but
Can we beat the second deposit battle in time? That'd be cool.
Real.
Neat
I
as
feel like
in-
the
way to get
slow but
small
sure
craft to
victory
work
for
would
Remnant,
be
it's just a
have
question
them
of-
be like minimum range for a certain size.
Well, the thing about
If you do a different minimum range for small craft, that would just mean the small craft have to rush the thruster craft and the thruster craft back off anyways. Like, that doesn't solve this problem.
Yeah, fair enough.
if you do a tighter minimum range, smaller crafts tend to have collision issues, I think.
I mean, but like we don't have to.
Not
Well, then
really.
that's just a nerf to small craft.
You can have a shorter maximum range, and disincentivize very small vehicles for very numerous vehicles.
Again, the number of vehicles isn't the problem here. It's the ludicrous range, and also detection.
It's the
and
range,
Detection
effective, and
was-
size.
could be better.
Tiny
They didn't
craft
have enough
shouldn't
tech
cause
to
detection
build
problems.
and are now
Yeah.
I'm
suffering.
sorry, but like small vehicles make inaccuracy.
Okay,
detection
It shouldn't be this.
I'll be honest here. I would say if you were fighting Maquis or the tiny other LTS drones, I would believe you. But you're fighting over 5k volume craft right now, and you're having accuracy issues, and they're not even moving.
That is
Totally.
They're not
Yes,
moving. They've got a
architecture is
huge bounding box you can aim at.
This is some Ashes of the Empire.
They
burning
spam
on
smoke.
an advanced stage. Like,
Like, if you can't hit these, then that is your own fault. That's not a, oh,
Yeah.
these are tiny vehicles.
hitting
My
them.
brother in Christ, no.
They're dying.
we're hitting them, they're dying. It's just not as fast as you'd love.
They're ignoring the real reason, which
The
is
problem
we had
is
a,
that
a
small
tight
craft
deadline. We couldn't
have
make anything
small
bigger.
detection signatures and can't fit a lot of detection. So small craft is
Well, the way
It should
detection
detect
works
square.
is against these sea whizzes. These sea whizzes
Right,
are
so-
physically large. Like they have a very large
And there's no, like,
cross-section
cloaking by
to
using
detection.
good materials. Like, they've got wood, they've got metal, they've got heavy armor on the outside. Like, these things have a massive signature radius.
yeah. The problem is they are large by Ashes of the Empire standards, which is
Wait,
not
but
FTD general. Large
No,
by
Not even that
FTD would
small
be
by
like
like
30k
meter
volume.
standards.
in base FTD, like my frigate, which is roughly like what 10k, 5k volume, gets detected no problem, and then like why is
Yes,
this
it's-
such
It's
a
Thank
because
you.
of the range, and you guys
Because
I don't know what
a
kind of detection
range-
you have.
and it's designed to fight at
Both
2
crafts are
kilometers?
small, and the range is large, which means that ship detection cubed.
An
the
issue is going to
sandblasters
occur
aren't hitting
shortly.
because,
We will see how serious it is.
The sandblasters aren't hitting because their detection is entirely wireless. Sweepers and laser grids
Wow.
are supposed
What
to be.
the fuck?
This is the edge of the map. I had to move him back closer to it because of the issue in our first
The
attempt.
IMT laser grids are supposed to be detecting everything, but
He is currently
Oh, no.
falling.
I think they got targeted.
What I'm hearing here is that y'all suck at making.
Oh, no.
Is it? I think it'll recover. Yeah?
Well, now it's
do
moving
it?
back.
You mean
Yeah,
suck
it's
at
got-
I literally
Oh!
can't
Do it.
find places to fit more detection onto the craft.
Yeah, that's
Really
the thing about
fucking
front
stability.
siders.
Everything is
Well, you've also got a massive shield covering a lot of your detection area.
No,
So.
this isn't
No,
my
that
craft.
didn't do
This is the
anything.
one made by
The issue is
game.
that it's a
Who's gonna
front
keep
sider.
hitting that wall?
Yeah, maybe
I
y'all
thought
should
they
stop
were
being
solvable
front-sider
problems.
apologists and build broadsiders like true chads.
I don't even
I
think these
actually
have
did.
chaff emitters on them. The fucking.
Front-siders are just too good and too tactical to not use.
Yeah, even with
Yeah,
the heavy
LTS
armor.
I mean,
would
we
have
literally
chaff.
did in the deposit battle.
Oh.
Those are broadside.
Just doing a quick war crime on that wall there.
Okay.
It's kind of funny
There's
how the only
one-
interesting crafts in the deposit
Tiny
battle was
barrel.
the front siders. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they were cool as balls. Alright.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Kinda
if my navy actually
Oof.
targeted the other navy, we would actually have some broadsider action.
Yes. This might
Can
not
we call
be
the
30
battle
minutes,
here? 'Cause
and
we're
they're
just gonna win
actually
this.
doing what they're
Like,
supposed
we're
to.
gonna win. It's just a question of
How much
long
damage are you
we
gonna
can
take
do
is the
it.
question, yeah.
Sieges take like 2 days, so this is realistic.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they're gonna
This is
burn
the
our
future
cities
of
down.
warfare. Just give me nuclear annihilation already.
Yeah, honestly, I wish we had nukes. Come on.
You would have died like they did before.
Yeah, no time
If
for...
the lasers have proper target prio, they would have just gone.
What is this
damage.
accuracy? Like,
That's perfect. It did it.
How
fine.
do you have a
a
more
very good
unfair
frame
battle
and that's
than historic?
And
not
these do
detection,
have
that's frame
detection.
and accuracy.
the angle may just not
You
be good for
can't
them
get
anymore.
better than that.
Actually?
You can get better than that. Why?
Frame has a minimum of 0.2 in accuracy or some shit. You can't. At
I
that
genuinely
range.
don't know how you guys are missing so much. I'm looking at all my frigates. They're all like 5k, 2k volume, and they have perfectly fine detection. I genuinely don't get it.
What are you guys using?
use-
What for detection?
Everything in the kitchen sink.
Oh, you guys don't have any heat sigs. That's why.
I did say that earlier. That messes with the IR. The smoke messes with the visual. They
These are
have
still
some
operational.
radar, but it's not.
Quite a lot of radar,
Barely enough.
actually.
These guys
At least
have
a lot
much,
of the
too.
cameras with radars.
So yeah, the detection on this
It's
side
mostly
should
just
be good.
just
Oh,
visual
one,
radar trackers
Adzilith
and
is
IR
finally
for the
despawning.
lasers.
Can we just call
Mm.
the battle? Because I don't think they're gonna win this.
Well, it's a question of when we stop taking damage.
Actually, this guy just took like 5% very quickly.
I mean, you could also just
Might have
stop
collided
watching
with the
it.
shield.
No, this is one without a shield. Shield one's been damaged for a while.
Oh.
Maybe one of the
Yeah,
fucking
the
fuel
resurgences
source
don't
of
have a
fuck.
shield, so they're more
Yeah, they're
liable to
based
take
like that.
lasting damage.
Oh.
Firing at
Damage.
its.
Oh, that's
I think
where
I
the
see
damage
what
is coming
happened.
from.
I mean, that wasn't doing much damage though.
Doesn't
These
have
lasers
any
are
I didn't
puny.
see what happened.
I don't even know where that damage got taken. Is it internal somehow?
I don't know the fucking armor brick.
Yeah.
Bruh.
It might have been that little laser turret on the side clipped into the hole and been fired.
Maybe, but that shouldn't
Yeah.
be that much damage. Like this thing's down
The laser
8%.
turrets have
Internals are
quite
very flexible,
not
so-
great DPS.
And if you think it's the laser turret, I
I
can
mean,
look in here, but like all this
I
is
don't see it.
intact.
Nah, there's no way it's that, yeah.
Probably just superficial damage.
8% though. I
do
mean,
feel
all
like
the laser
I
turrets
do
are
feel
still
like
here.
lasers are sort of
And,
uniquely limited
like-
because you need the lasers tech, which is not super expensive, but it's not cheap either. But you also need a bunch of engine power from somewhere,
Yeah.
whether that's tech, whether that's
Honestly, I was
oil,
hoping for more
gas,
oil
that stuff.
wars at this point, for people greedy for energy.
Oh wait, there is the hole right there.
Are those lasers?
Listen, I'd throw down
uh,
over some uranium right now.
Are those lasers
Problem is that,
blood
like-
orange or red?
They're red.
No, they're
That's
But you-
lightly pinkish red.
Because
be
my
honest,
lasers are just red, and that might be a little confusing.
Yeah, they look pretty much
I
just
think the
red. Maybe
coolest
there's some
laser
orange in
color
there,
is
but not
gotta
much.
be like
black.
sun colored. Like
What?
Ear cups.
orangish white.
I could just let Jewel's signature like live on in my faction and turn my lasers black, be like black
Yeah.
lasers.
What do you mean Jewel signature? I did that too at about the same time.
I think
Yes, it's hella
Borderwise
fucking
does
cool.
that.
I've never seen you do those, so.
What?
I
You,
like
you were
blue.
in Zarmina.
I just remember black
I'm
lasers.
sorry,
being
there
white.
weren't that many servants of the Dark Star craft.
It hits. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? The
Tactical
next
airburst to
Yeah.
maximize civilian casualties. I see what you're doing.
It's an SDS,
Nah.
50% net.
We didn't
one?
build the walls like that.
No, it fucking wasn't. It's mostly that like SDS at the very start had a decent roster. It then just got outdated and I didn't keep up at all.
Updates when 90% of your entire folder is now obsolete. And then it happened 3 more
92 on
times.
each one.
I think that one's
They
about to
both
get
take a
yeeted
percent
again.
damage.
Yeah, I'm
shortly.
guessing it will. Well, I assume it'll recover. It recovered last time.
I gave him very robust
We'll
build
see.
control. Well, maybe I'm jinxing
My
it.
brother in Christ, one of these crashed into the train already. It went
No,
up
no,
like...
okay, so we figured out what that was. The AA mainframe had different adjustment settings.
Yeah, it's set to
Interesting.
20 meters above the ground, which is
And
not
it
enough.
somehow hijacked control of the vehicle's wavelengths.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
they don't have prior settings for the AI cores, so they.
Yeah.
I don't know why it decided.
I don't think
Just
those
the
use that one
randomness.
assist, do they?
Interesting.
They do.
It's not
You do.
random.
Priority
It's
of
whichever
vehicles.
one is placed last that takes priority if the priority.
Right,
is
but
the
I
same.
loaded them in the same way, the same time. They were the same blueprint.
Yeah, which is why it's really fucking weird.
Welcome to.
Well, I think
Maybe
one of them
like-
just
maybe
happens to
something got
encounter
shot.
something while.
Ooh.
It's
Oh.
good. So it
Yeah,
drops
it's a
altitude
street
because it doesn't see land for a
That's
moment, and then
fine,
it gets
didn't roll. It
sent
didn't
back in.
roll at all.
Yeah, if it doesn't roll, it's definitely gonna be good. Although it does
Yeah,
mess up the
it has
shield for a little
vectoring
while.
For its roll, it can. I'm pretty sure it can like do a full flip before falling from this altitude. If it
Oh,
wants
something just caused a lag spike.
Oh, there's the.
I didn't see the
that
lag
vehicle.
spike, so I don't know.
Yeah, the game is speeding
sure.
up slowly but steadily.
True, probably was an
Yeah,
ammo
it's like
deck, probably in one of
interesting
the
armor.
to.
defense
Yeah, no
storages.
significant internal damage. All the damage is armor.
Chad,
It
the laser
got
was
pretty much
supposed
all the
to
way through the armor, but
charge.
it did only get through armor.
Pros, I told you it's a one pump jump.
Bruh. How
One
expensive
pump, one
are your
leg?
sandblasters?
It could have fired like 4 times.
About 80k for the sandblasters.
Bruh.
I call them that. I don't know if they actually are.
Bro, they
Hold on,
didn't
let's check
turn
out the
off-
shell.
I mean, it looks like
I mean,
Oh no, they are actually fins.
Fins,
What the fuck is that shell?
It's the meta.
that would
It
be.
literally
Chad's
is.
name
That's not the
is
meta. There are
It is
3
not.
bodies. What the fuck?
I think that was AP
Yeah, I
head,
don't know
2
if it was
fins, and like a tracer or something.
All right.
That's a heavy
Here
head.
is the
Uh,
meta.
What the?
You have one sabot
Base
head.
bleeder, I think.
You have 7.
No,
you
that's
have
not
6
a
fins.
sabot head.
You have a
He
heat
has a heavy and
secondary, and then you have a base bleeder. That's the
Stop
meta
talking
shell.
over each other. It's
a based
annoying.
leader.
So it's doing about 24 AP versus wedges as a heavy head.
Yeah.
High
So that's
AP
never gonna,
limited.
like,
Why are we
get through.
using high AP
He
shells?
picked the wrong shell. Oh my god.
Aren't those meant to be like super accurate and they're missing mostly? I mean, some are making it
Because of
through.
the
Overseer.
You got no fucking detection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overseer
Well, the
already
one of the
beat
laser
us.
buildings is
building
still
left
alive, and
still
it still has
has-
detection.
Chad, I've been telling you this. for
Yeah,
years
but
now, that
I
you're
think
you're
unless
hitting
you change the
precisely
settings on it, it's assigning
wrong
2
spot.
trackers to each one, so it's probably still scuffed detection because it's
And-
only using 2 trackers, and that's still at 3 kilometers.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wait
it's
a
something that
sec.
has smoke.
Wait.
Your vehicle
Does the
has
more-
2 trackers?
All of
Does
these
the
also
mortar
have a
have
bunch of
place
trackers.
trackers?
Currently living trackers.
Like I'm
Yeah, so
seeing
each
3
one
looking at that
only-
guy.
I think that they're set to the default, which is to assign 2 trackers to each
No,
target.
no, no.
Like,
It's set to set everything to the main target.
I'm talking about his, not ours.
Oh,
Yeah.
Slow boys.
Do these guys have
Mine was-
inter-vehicle
I choose
transmitters?
the detection a lot.
Yeah, no. I looked at his. It has
I
the
don't
same.
know.
Because I would think if they do, then you should have plenty of detection, because those all have another 2 detectors per.
Those are Kevin's. I didn't
This
look
is
them
why
up.
most tournaments ban detection.
Wow.
And just go with auto detect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because auto detect makes the game not boring.
Yeah.
And also for a
Yeah,
while,
and
detection was
I-
just.
If you do
horribly
that, I'll
broken.
start spamming tram mortars.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, if you at least use more of them than this, I'll be happy with it, because this is just terrible here.
Yeah, no. Can
If
we
auto
actually
detect
move to
was on,
auto
this would have
detect?
been over a long time ago, because the cram mortars would have hit.
So 92,
walk
Yeah, the
behind
cram
the
90.
mortars would have been hitting constantly.
Alright, I'm gonna turn on auto detect and see what happens.
Wait, it's. Oh wait, no.
At this
Go.
point, the battle's essentially over.
I think
Yeah.
it has
Like,
to be
there's what,
0.99,
one
right?
sandblaster
Or does it have
left?
to be 1?
No,
That's-
no,
it's
one
one.
is fine. One is fine.
The-
One is fine.
The-
That got changed. That
One
got
is
changed.
correct.
One is
Yeah,
correct.
1 is maximum.
Oh, does
Exactly.
.99 let you
Much
use like your own
difference, I know
settings if
one
they're better?
works.
The LTS bunkers are still firing,
How
so
is
it's
it?
not over
Okay,
yet.
good.
Yeah, I thought it was missing too, and I was like, how are you managing a miss
All planes are
with
dead.
auto detect?
I mean, keep in mind these crams were fired before the auto detect.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't think
yeah,
so.
That's just
Crazy.
insult to injury.
Well, that one also didn't have the tracking on it because it was fired at a low angle.
Yeah.
Those ones just had tracking and they didn't do it.
Well, those were definitely fired before the change. We'll
those
see if
were
anyone
already
does
Yeah.
better.
there, yeah.
Yeah,
Cram mortars spend a lot of time in the air.
they take
Yeah.
their time.
It's like up to half a minute.
Is part of the reason lasers are so weak, is that because, like, the engine power restriction means you can't add any extra? Like, would you have made them more powerful if you didn't
Just
have
use
engine
uranium,
limits?
bro.
Well,
you remember
Well,
the
partially
kind
that
of
I
upset
guess,
about
but
our
also like
specific technology, but
that's not their job.
Kill issue.
Okay.
That's why.
what I was talking about, like lasers being uniquely limited, because no other weapon system uses engine power, does it?
Well, I mean, plasma
using,
and packs.
engine-powered packs. That's why I'm
Well,
spamming
but that's
small
electricity
craft.
generation, and that's not limited.
Yes, it is.
Is
Yes,
it?
it is.
You've been accidentally cheating.
I asked Mizer.
No,
He
we
said it
don't
was
have it
limited.
used.
Yeah, it should be limited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm spamming
used to-
small crafts because I can't afford larger power generation.
That's another way. Something I've been meaning to suggest was to have the power limit scale with the size of the craft, the way that like repair bots and stuff do.
Okay.
I
Because
support that
otherwise, that's
idea.
another thing that is incentivizing small craft swarms.
Yeah.
I literally can't build large craft with my favorite weapon type.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, the disciples, like also in the
Well, I
deposit
could.
second battle.
I
that
mean-
would have been way faster if the disciples could have.
It's not that we want to get rid of small craft entirely. It's that having only those, well,
It's annoying. Yeah.
These
Just
aren't
'cause
even
no one has
small, they're
cool
like
small
80k.
crap.
Just use a pack as a secondary.
Or just build 500k.
I mean,
That's
that's
I mean-
true.
Or quit being meta.
I mean, like
Also,
an
the-
actually
I don't
cancer.
want to be good.
An actually cancer small vehicle would be if I went to like Kevin's little tank drones and I put 4 chaff emitters and then I slapped some coal in the back. And then it's like, well shit, what are you gonna do? Hit it?
I appreciate that with the fire update, they actually made the coal extra flammable.
Yeah. well,
Cool.
Yeah. Like that's an
No,
actually-
coal.
Material containers because Traba hates them.
That's an actually like cancer
Fucking
small
Java.
vehicle, but these aren't small. These are 80k. I don't
Java's bad
understand.
at the game.
Has anyone done the math, by the way, on the effectiveness of coal piles versus actual incendiary warheads? Pretty funny.
What?
It's just a lot of fuel on your fire.
I mean, at some point it gets intensity limited.
Alright, I think this battle
Because-
has reached a point where the airships aren't going to take any more damage.
All the
Maybe. I mean, there's
fuel,
still the
the
one
cargo, and
sandblaster,
coal
but it
piles.
is.
All the
One
fuel, the
sandblaster
cargo,
left,
and
it could
coal.
do some damage to the resurgences.
It's just
The
gonna
Revengeance,
make
no,
the-
I think it'll just out repair it.
This thing. It has been hitting the sides some, because it's not pointing the shield at the right craft.
Yeah.
Now you know what's really funny? Railings, they spread fire extraordinarily fast.
Interesting.
Yet another reason to only use them as decos.
No, you can use them as like fire conduits to take like a
on
big
your
fire
own
and
ship.
distribute it a bunch of, like among a bunch of stone.
Among us.
Great. Now we've already had the heavy armor grids for EMP. Now we're gonna have railing grids for fire.
Yeah,
don't we
it's
already
actually
have that on the
surprisingly good
500K?
against like charge lasers.
Your
You can
ring
take, like,
destroyers
fire.
always lose to solid armor ships cannon. You cannot
Okay.
change my mind.
Mr. Luke.
Yes.
I have a proposal.
Ah.
If any vehicle like randomly warps itself out of existence, and you can confirm it, this wasn't like intentional or planned, like in combat, roll a dice, any odds you like, just a non-zero chance of furthering intradimensional research.
how exactly would you warp out of existence? Is that like a thing that warp drives can do?
Going to Nanland.
Going to Nanland usually, or
Okay.
clipping yourself below terrain, ejecting yourself into space without having the thrust to do that the normal way.
Yeah, I'll vibe with that.
No, because he already knows how to do that.
Most of the unintentional Nan things, I suppose I should say, have been fixed. Like, I've done it a few times myself. Sometimes
There's
intentionally.
a surprising amount of ways to turn off physics for your vehicle, and I think that should use the same role. But,
I
like,
think
with
then
different
people are gonna
results.
start intentionally doing that.
That health go up? Wasn't
It
it
did.
at 92?
Yep.
You're allowed like 2 repair bots, so well.
Yeah, I think this is...
Yeah, it's not getting anywhere. I mean, the...
Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Over.
I know there
Actually,
is an
some
incentive
damage.
to do so, but like, we weren't lying when we said like we're gonna win this. Like, no, it's.
Oh yeah, I believe you. At this point, the damage is very
I'm
minimal
fine
that's
with
going
the
in.
battle here. It's very boring.
Yeah.
I
If
think
the
letting
range
this
was
go on
slightly
longer
less,
actually
these cannons may
works
be able to
for
do
the
something.
Triumvirate, because we're gonna gain health.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That resurgence might not, if it because it's actually being fired at. Or wait, are those shells are running out of steam before they hit
Yeah.
it? Never mind.
Yeah.
You see, the
Yep,
problem
I'm
is
happy to
we're-
call it here.
Serious?
Because this is both boring and going nowhere. So, one on
Sometimes when people on the
73,
range,
one on
please,
93, one on
please,
92.
please look at per build.
Which of the ones are on 73 and 92?
73
Okay, let's do that.
can't
The
be
73 is the one that crashed at the start.
Yeah, the 73 one is the Dow
Yeah,
one.
Revengeance.
These finally
Basically,
taking some
I'm
damage.
going to sell the Dow ones back to you.
I'm fairly certain that like that one can still fly if it's just flipped right side up.
Mm-hmm.
That's possible.
But yeah, it is a Resurgence at 93, a Revengeance at 92, and a Revengeance at 73.
Wait, did the third resurgence die or something?
The
No, it
last
was-
Resurgence is
second
at 100. Okay, this was officially an absolutely terrible battle. If I check OBS, we are over an hour and 7 minutes.
Get worse.
Let's go.
So congratulations, all of your nations are being removed from the map for making me sit through
no.
this.
Understanding.